In 2024, there's been an increase of 25% of this episode's wine variety. Wine bottle shops can't keep enough. Grays.com are running out of them fast. Let's find out what the up-and-coming wine of 2024 is.
I think Grenache suits because of that. I mean, I think more affordable than Pinot Noir overall. And what the style of wine that is being made with Grenache, a little bit earlier peaking, fresher wines, a little bit fruitier, it really resembles a Pinot Noir.
Is cost a factor when comparing it with Pinot Noir on the shelf? Is this wine variety finally getting the respect it deserves? What makes it a good varietal to blend? Any GSM fans out there? Master Sommelier Carlos Santos, firstly, do you like Grenache on the palate, and when and where are you drinking it?
Yeah, I really like Grenache. It's a very lovely varietal, and I think especially this modern style Grenache in Australia, I think is really, really cool.
We'll have to find out what modern style means.
Less probably of the Châteauneuf-du-Pape style, really ripe, really alcoholic, really warm, really ripe and juicy. I'm less fan of that, but I'm much more into slightly early peaking, fruitier, fresher, almost like a Pinot Noir, So yeah, that's the style I like.
Well, Carlos, thank you for pouring me a glass of this. You actually introduced me to this wine. It's Kaesler is the bigger brand, but Stonehorse is the name on the label.
Yeah.
This Grenache is a 2017, and you can pick this up for $20 a bottle, delivered to your door.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when you sent this to me. This was after we did the best bottle of wine under $30. I reckon this would have been up there for me in the top 5, maybe top 3.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting wine. And I remember thinking when you sent me a bottle of this, I don't think I'd drink Grenache. GSM, sure. I remember we spoke about GSM a couple of times, John Duval's take on it. But I just remember trying it and going, for low alcohol, is it lowish alcohol?
Is high.
Yeah, why is it high?
I couldn't find it, but 14.5 at least.
God.
15%. 15%.
That's what I guess my point was, sorry. For a light-bodied wine, it's a heavy alcohol, which I found interesting.
That's right, yeah. It's lighter in body, lighter in tannins or low tannins, but high in alcohol. Yeah, it's a thin-skinned grape variety. You can see by the color, but it likes the heat. Grenache really likes heat. That's why it's grown in warmer to hot climates, and therefore it does reach very high levels of alcohol. This one, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a modern style Grenache in Australia. This is more one of the older world styles, which again, it appeals to a lot of people. For me, I prefer the fresher, fruitier style. Although this is drinking really nice, actually. Yeah.
The 2017
again, for $20.
shows for $20, and for 2017 showing a bit of age as well in the color of it, a little bit of clay brick edge on this.
You see this color. You could, if you go just by the color, you could say Nebbiolo. Yeah. Once you put it in the mouth, forget it. It's not Nebbiolo. But yeah,
it's not Nebbiolo because it's low acid.
Correct.
Cool.
And low tannin. Exactly.
I just think a really smashable wine, apart from the large alcohol.
Yeah,
I just
15%.
think that's something in it. But can you tell us why are Australians buying this at a huge rate of up to 25% more than they were in previous years?
It's grown in Australia. It's less expensive than Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir has had a huge surge in prices.
Oh, so expensive.
So expensive. Nothing is less than, nothing good to reasonable is like less than 40, 50, 60, 70 $70. I mean, I think it's starting.
Like you as an importer of wine could probably get it at 40 or $50, but then you got to slap that $80 price tag on it to make your margins.
Exactly. And if you go to a restaurant, nothing is less than 100, 120, and that's a very, very, very starting point. If you are in Europe, if you are in Burgundy, or if you go to a supermarket, it's a lot different. You can get a reasonable wine at a lot less expensive. Because I just came from Portugal. When you hear, it's so different. So you get to spend a little bit more on a bottle of wine.
That's why it's good to buy Australian wines when you're in Australia, right? Because we're not paying import taxes.
Well, exactly. But even that, the wine's already more expensive than, by comparison, French wines in France or Portuguese wines in Portugal or Spanish, etc.
Yeah. So our $15 entry wines are much better in France.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Well, exactly right.
Right.
So I think Grenache suits because of that. I mean, I think the modern days, or at least, what I'm trying to say is, I think life is hard for everyone right now, and
Cost
I
of
think
living?
Grenache cost of living is difficult for everyone. I think Grenache is much more affordable than Pinot Noir overall, and what the style of wine that is being made with Grenache, a little bit earlier peaking, fresher wines, a little bit fruitier. It really resembles a Pinot Noir. More red, red fruit is a characteristic, but a little bit higher acidity, a little bit less alcohol. And if you chill down the wine a touch before serving, it's so delicious, fruitier, fresher, than this style. This style is a little bit heavier. This is more what I was saying about the Chateauneuf du Pape style, riper, warm and generous. This is more it. But then again, I think when you compare this to a Chateauneuf du Pape, or if you compare a modern style Grenache from Australia with a Pinot Noir, you have a bargain, So
Tell me, I mean, remembering last episode we spoke about climates, interesting climates for interesting wines.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're sort of figuring out that wine can grow in most places, but just not necessarily grow well. What would you say the perfect climate is for Grenache? Where does it thrive?
Yeah, warm to hot climates. And you can think of the region of Chateauneuf du Pape, where there is a strong wind, the Mistral that blows down from the Massif Central, cooling down, bringing bringing breezes, cooler breezes to the region. But also stones, so big rocks, big pebbles that heat up during the day, and when it's cold nights, keep the vineyards warm, because again, Grenache does like that. That does like heat. South Australia, is a huge spot, for Grenache. What else? So yeah, Chateauneuf du Pape. You have Barossa Valley. Some parts of California as well, warmer parts, valley floor in California, for example, there's really good Grenache. Warm to hot spots. So Southern Rhone is very popular. It's probably the birthplace of Grenache as well.
Wow. We're drinking a Grenache by itself today, but the first time I've ever had a Grenache, and I dare say most people would have had it in a GSM.
Yeah.
Now, GSM is Grenache, Shiraz, Mourvedre, or Mataro.
Yeah.
GSM, Grenache, the order of the letter is the percentage of what wine is in there.
Correct.
Not the alcohol, percentage of how much the grape varietal is in there. So Grenache is the dominant grape in those mixes.
Typically, yeah.
But why is it good to blend? Why aren't people drinking it more by itself?
Yeah. Well, because Grenache is this. You know what you get. You're going to be predominantly red fruit flavor. It's going to be high in alcohol. It's going to be low in tannin, low in acidity. And for some people, could get a little bit boring. So why not add a little bit of Syrah, which adds a little bit of black fruit, adds a little bit more acidity, adds a little bit more tannin. And then you add Mataro, add more robustness, add a little bit more maybe the dark chocolate note. So why not? And that's when the blends come in play. So Grenache will still be the major part, and then the other ones will be complementary grape varieties, or the other way around. Maybe the Syrah is too dark, is too concentrated, or too powerful. Then you add a little bit of Grenache to kind of smooth down a little bit, to bring down the acidity a little bit lower and the tannins, and to bring a little bit more red fruit, more complexity as well. So that's why blends exist.
As a grape variety, though, it's not like a primary color. Do you know how, the primary colors, the four colors, green, blue, red, yellow? So you mix them to create all of our other colors, right?
Yes.
This would sort of be a secondary varietal. It's not the big Cab Sav or Chardonnay, the primaries.
Yeah.
What would the other two be? Merlot? What are the four biggest wine grape varieties?
The four, you mean worldwide? Probably, it's hard to say.
I'd say out of not necessarily
Chardonnay,
planted.
Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir, would that
Chardonnay, Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir. Those are definitely three super big ones.
What are we chucking in there as the fourth primary? Do we need to add another what?
Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay. So Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon reds, Chardonnay definitely, Sauvignon Blanc maybe.
I knew you were going to say it.
Is huge.
I didn't want you to say it. I knew you were going to say it.
Sauvignon Blanc. You
But
could
we're also
Riesling. I
thinking
mean,
it's-
it's
we're also
unfair
thinking-
to say Riesling. You know,
I'd
you
love
can-
to hear Riesling,
you know.
but I think you're right because Sancerre is Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's such a different variety to what we have in New
you
Zealand.
have Sauvignon Blanc anywhere in California.
Yeah, tastes nothing like what we have here.
Napa, Sonoma.
Yeah,
There's
so there's our
California.
4 primaries. But what I'm saying is
Probably.
Grenache is on the side. It's a mixing grapefruit.
Yeah, but you only ask 4. If you ask 10, then
You reckon it's in the 10?
Yeah, surely, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Food pairing.
4 is almost too slim to pick only 4 varietals when there's thousands of vitis.
Well, there's thousands of colors, millions of different colors.
True. That's true as well. Yes.
Our brand's color I found out the other day is like RG694562 or something. There's a very specific color.
Oh wow.
So you can't be getting. Don't blame me. Blame the color wheel. Before we go, food pairings. Master sommelier.
Yeah.
Someone says, "Oh, I love Grenache." They come into your restaurant. What are you putting in front of them food-wise?
With Grenache, I would think of pork, for example. Although pork is already a very fatty meat, so I probably want something with a little bit more acidity to cut through that fattiness. But pork could be an option. Although I would probably go for chicken, which is a lean meat. Chicken.
So white meats, though?
Yeah, white meats. Chicken and chestnuts. I don't know, chestnut puree or something like this could be really good. Something warm, something, now we're getting into autumn. So chestnuts are not there. Salmon could be another option, a fatty fish. And here works differently than the pork because salmon is a fish. So it's a lot lighter fat. Even though it's the fattiest fish, it's still way lighter than chicken, for example, in terms of meat, in terms of fat. So I think this could be good because, again, there's no tannin or very low tannin. It's very low in acidity, which, again, could work, could not work. But I think this could be an option. Salmon, chicken, cheeses could be. Charcuterie could be fantastic as well.
Well, I mean, you're basically just naming every food at this point. Just it's a food, wine that goes with food.
It goes with food, yeah, and you need food. There's 15% of alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, a steak probably you need more tannin.
Yeah.
This doesn't have tannins. So
you don't need to go through all the foods it won't work with. We'll be here all night. Candy doesn't go with hubba bubba, too sugary, less acid.
Yeah.
Got some listeners or viewers out there who love Grenache, please drop your favorite bottle below and keep your eyes out on the sales at grays.com to pick yourself up a bargain when they become available, and good luck bidding against us. Cheers to Grenache.
Cheers to Grenache.
An under-repped yet classic top 10 wine varietal.
May I have another glass of wine?
You're going to fall
It's
asleep.
Portugal.
Oh, you haven't been drinking since the trip?
Yeah, so this is feeling so good, actually.